Have you ever seen what an anechoic chamber looks like? A chamber that's like dampens all sound.
Yeah.
I have. It's really
seen it.
interesting.
I've seen that. I've heard
I think I've
there's
actually been
that
in
is
one.
so effective that you can actually you hear your own heartbeat and your bones creaking and things like that, and that people, the most time that any individual has lasted in there. When I say lasted, I mean given up until they give up like being in there, is 45 minutes.
Oh my god.
Because apparently it's just extremely disturbing to hear like your blood flowing through your veins.
Holy shit.
I wouldn't last 2 minutes.
Really?
Oh my god. Well, does it also
I
like
feel like it would be cool though.
does it dampen like your voice to you? Or is
yeah.
it more like oh, that's weird.
Like your voice will not reverberate back to you.
Not even a little bit.
I would want to go in there and feel that for a little while because I feel like I would be able to write like bodily metaphors better after knowing what it sounds like.
Yeah. Oh, maybe so.
As a writing research, I like that. Okay.
Well, let's get started.
Let's get started.
All right, let me turn this on. Back face.
Woohoo! It's Journey.
All right.
All
Let
right.
me pull up the script here. Okay.
Man, coffee just increases my Genki by like 25%. At least.
I see.
Would you say coffee increases your Genki level?
Yeah.
That's cute.
Very good.
Coffee.
Okay.
コーヒーを飲んでいます. Sorry.
I'm just waiting to make sure we pop up on Twitch here. Okay, there we go.
Dun, 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 dun,
All
dun,
right.
dun, dun.
Here we are. We ready to begin?
Yes.
Okay.
Ready to go.
Good to go.
I mean, hey.
Welcome-
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, I was going to say, like, in terms of talking to myself, it's not going to be as bad as that one time I have to do the scene as Gregory Edgeworth, young Miles Edgeworth, and Yanni Yogi in the same elevator.
True.
That was really hard. Especially because it's not actually clear who's talking initially.
It really isn't. Okay, well, I'm going to give the intro. Okay. Welcome to Lights, Camera, Objection. We are a troupe of amateur voice actors who are here to bring you fully voiced playthroughs of Capcom's Ace Attorney games. If this is your first experience with the Ace Attorney series, we have a no spoilers policy to ensure that first-timers have the unfiltered experience. No killers or other major surprises will be revealed ahead of time. So let's meet the cast and find out who they'll be voicing in the 5th turnabout. When I give your name, please introduce yourself with your pronouns and tell us who you'll be playing in Episode 5, Rise from the Ashes. Co-pilot Koko.
Hey everyone, I'm co-pilot Koko. Good to see you all again. I am playing Phoenix Wright during Rise of the Ashes.
All right, Voice Flower.
Hi, I'm Voice Flower. My pronouns are she, her, and I am again playing Emma Skye.
And Dusk.
Hi, I'm Dusk. They, them. I'm going to be playing Jake Marshall, and as always, Miles Edgeworth.
All right, and WriterofBlocks is not here right now, but she may be dropping in later. Her characters are Lana, Skye, and Angel Starr. And Nyard is not here either. He would be playing Mike, Meekins, and Damon Gant, but because he's not here, this is the Oops All Americans episode of Lights, Camera, Objection. So we've just purged all foreign influence, all red, white, and blue from here on out.
Ew.
I know, sorry. It is kind of that. All right. So anyway, I'm Sir Syzer. My pronouns are he, him, and I'll be voicing the judge and Detective Gumshoe. So without further ado, court is now in session for Lights, Camera,
Objection!
Never gets old.
Here we go.
I always make sure there's nothing in my right hand when I say objection because I can't help but point.
Yeah, me too. I always do the point.
All right, I need to get my gavel out. I got it. February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye.
Emma didn't come back.
We won't have Emma for this one either.
Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime.
Wait, hold up. Oh, wait, no, it was Jake Marshall. That's right. Okay.
Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
Oh, I know. You're a patrolman.
As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Howling wind. I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before.
Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took... My voice is terrible. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner.
What do you mean?
A desperado soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up.
Maybe it's best if we just get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. Day of the crime.
My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail.
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude.
Sorry. The wrong damn thing. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems?
I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers?
Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those?
He's not being very helpful.
He's not that good with machines. Or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. All right. So I feel like we need to press a few things here.
Definitely.
All right, so we'll just start with this one and move on.
Hold it! How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room?
I just made sure nothing moved into the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings.
You interred them?
Videos of nothing not that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life.
This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't doing him any good. So, in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room?
All right.
Hold it! But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right?
Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
No desperado I know lets rules get in his way.
No desperados I know join a police force.
So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime,
Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day.
there was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that?
Sorry, partner, can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks.
How does this guy avoid being fired?
Okay, so this might be the important one.
Hold it! You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct?
Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence.
And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism?
Sorry, partner, I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works.
That's quite, incredible.
The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence.
Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that, too.
At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? All right.
Hold it! What were you doing in a place like that?
I was eating
sorry.
spaghetti. Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that parlor's vongole sepia pasta.
Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles?
Not El Desperados eat tacos, partner.
That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson.
That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, did you not want to raise this year? Or something like that.
All right, let's do the cue.
Hold it! Out of ammo, Officer Marshall.
And that's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to the crime, then you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset.
One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything.
Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that.
Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I'd best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante.
Okay, so let's look at our evidence.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to have something that contradicts what he's saying. Investigator's ID. Wait, do we have Is Marshall's name in the thing?
We don't have that option. What do you mean? Oh,
Marshall's
right.
number in the record.
Oh, wait,
Not
no,
that
that's
one.
the right thing.
It's to the left.
I don't remember if we did, but if we did, it would be a contradiction, so it's worth looking at. Nope, he didn't. Okay, never mind.
Nope.
Yeah.
Unless he's quad sevens,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but we don't know that.
It seems likely that he, like, just with his whole style, it seems likely that it would be.
True, but no evidence yet that really indicates a contradiction.
So we gotta up the ante, which I think means maybe getting his thing in there. So let's see if we can do that. Where on that sure they said I was supposed to make around 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. So hold on a second. I wonder if we present it here, if we can see if he did it like one time. You know what I mean? Though that doesn't seem to contradict.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
it's not really-
thing.
Besides the
Security
room protector-
system.
And which were the security systems he referred to?
The locked door and
The cameras and
Yeah.
the fingerprint ID is what he said.
not the fingerprint ID, the regular ID.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
you're
the
right,
ID
you're
lock.
right.
Yeah, okay. And Phoenix already pointed out the fingerprint lock within like the dialogue after the testimony, so it's probably not that either. 2 security systems.
I'm a little confused.
What's the one after this? The statement after this? If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down.
Well, I don't think we can contradict that or necessarily be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway.
Maybe we just want to point out the fact that there's the fingerprint ID too.
It's possible.
That would be a contradiction at the very least.
Yeah.
Let's see though. That's right there.
Oh wait, those are Marshall's fingerprints.
Are they? Oh yeah, they are.
Oh right, yeah. Never mind. So go back to the one that says he never stepped foot in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try that.
I think the next one is the correct one.
This right here.
Yeah, but like I don't think that's the right statement.
Okay, hold up.
Next.
Want right here?
No. Next. This one. Because we
Yeah.
have a thing that puts him at a different place.
Right. Because how did his fingerprints get on there if he was away?
Okay, we can give
Exactly.
it a shot here.
Okay. Objection!
Ooh, good. Maybe good. Yeah, good call.
Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet you drag me down here. Explain yourself, partner.
Well, it's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint.
Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
Objection! I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood.
witness. What's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene?
There was blood wiped away. The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall?
It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
Huh?
I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall, about the blood-stained fingerprints.
Very well. You may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime.
All right.
Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched a locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The blood-stained and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it.
The witness's explanation appears valid, though there's room for doubt.
Life wouldn't be any fun without any doubt, partner.
The defense may cross-examine the witness.
This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it.
Alright, we start pressing again.
Yep.
Just like pumping that powder, just like everything.
Yeah. Hold it! That's because you... How did you put it? Pay your respects once a month?
Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams.
I see.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker.
Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it.
Marshall's fingerprints found on a bloody handprint on Marshall's own locker.
Well, that
Prints
doesn't...
had been wiped.
Yeah, that doesn't explain the blood, though.
Yeah.
One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. Oh! You're such a fucking weaselly little liar, dude. Alright, so then, what about the bloody handprint?
Wasn't mine. It's no mystery.
Please explain.
My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened the murderer touched my locker where my fingerprint was by chance.
How many? What?
Like
What?
what? That doesn't make any sense. Like there
Oh
would be
my
other
God.
fingerprints there.
This is literally just self-incrimination. Like, this is just... Okay. The chances that the chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated.
Hold it! Unrelated?
They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, while the other's a type of murder.
He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different.
I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Yeah, okay. You can't wipe one off and keep the older one, though. That would never work. This doesn't even make scientific sense. This guy is talking out his ass. Alright. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves?
Right, that's the...
Oh. Hold it! How do you know that?
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh yeah, I think we tried that too.
So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprints.
That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner?
The picture?
This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards.
Oh, how could I have realized?
There's only one reality, and that's this.
The security tape.
So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise.
This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. Okay, so this is a new statement.
It is.
Let's press it, shall we?
Yeah. Hold it! What do you mean by that?
You want to tie me to this crime? Isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have.
Objection! But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots.
Blind spots?
Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape.
Objection! We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall is present, please do so now.
Oh, shit. Hang on.
Do we actually have evidence of that?
Well... Oh, jeez. Can we watch the video from this screen?
Let's see. I'm trying to get... Let me see if I can get to the court record.
Okay. I'm so glad it doesn't play the music. Okay, so this happens. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay.
Wait.
We have to wait for the bloody handprint to appear, right?
We might not see it because the blue badger's in front of it. Yeah.
Well, okay. Does it have anything to do? I mean, we do know that there's
Hold
this
on.
that appears,
Hold
right?
on.
Yeah.
Wait. Something was removed. Something. Remember the white cloth that was used to like do that. It's gone now. There's
white
only
cloth is
one.
gone. There's also a handprint
The
on
fingerprint
the blue
lock.
badger.
The fingerprint lock. That's where the white cloth must have gone, because it was not found at the crime.
Oh wait.
And
no,
remember
there's-
whose locker that is?
Wait, say that again, Dusk?
That's Jake Marshall's locker. The one that was touched by the murderer to put something away.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
So the video
There's also
starts...
a handprint that appears on the blue badger.
Yes.
We
oh,
missed
on
it
its
before.
cheek.
Yeah.
So okay. Yeah, the cloth is not there until after the person in white leaves.
Oh yeah. I
So
see
now
it.
he's gone. He's probably ducking under the camera,
Puts the.
and then the cloth is there.
Yep.
This is why he's denying the fact that he knows how to use the fingerprint locks.
Yep. That makes sense.
So there is
And the
evidence in
only
video.
and the only person who could have put it there is Jake Marshall.
Yeah. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. Oh no, we're back into hell.
The music, no!
Okay, you can fast forward.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, so the handprint is there at the beginning.
Oh, yeah. I think it's because it was, like, quickly made by Gumshoe. Okay. And goes back. And then... Boop. Yep. Take that! Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll not soon forget, Officer Marshall.
The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less?
Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video.
Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner.
The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video.
Yay!
Nice.
We got it.
Yeah, we did.
That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe.
Now then, let's rewind the video a little bit.
Oh, the white cloth. It's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away.
Order! Order! It would seem that's the only...
Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine.
Yeah, it is his fault that he doesn't know how the locker works, though.
Yeah, he really doesn't know how the locker
Why
works.
is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man?
I may be stupid. This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker.
Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker. Now prove it.
Okay, where do we have it?
Well,
Locker
I
door,
think...
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Yeah. Take that!
Fingerprint sensor?
We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to.
What kind of crazy talk is this?
Well, Detective Gumshoe
Some kind
did
of
mention
newfangled
something about this.
contraption. Sorry.
In
You're
any
good.
case, the logs aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
That is a security risk, my guy. All right. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less?
I only got one word for you, partner. No!
Oh my god.
Order! 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 Witness! Explain yourself!
If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard.
I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
Olay! Please answer the question.
What is he now, a bullfighter?
Olay.
That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here.
We can?
Have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet, Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness?
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
That's right. The only possible conclusion.
Well then, let's hear it.
He was disguised as John Goodman.
Yeah. He was the killer.
100%. Without question. Take that!
Actually, I think the killer is Meekins.
Oh, a typo. Holy shit, a typo in the game.
Where? Wait.
Office Marshal as opposed to Officer Marshall.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I've
All
never
right.
noticed
Maybe
this.
that's an Easter egg for the real Nancy Drews out there. All right. Officer Marshall was standing right here.
So Officer Meekins didn't notice him standing there. That's almost as credible as Meekins' warp theory.
Your chamber's empty, partner. Better reload.
What?
Yeah, because Meekins is the person. Because that killer was Meekins. Because he was the one who attacked the
Oh yeah.
disguised. The
Oh, Dang
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that was the wrong, is the other one.
Oof, big misclick. Okay, well, now they're ganging up on me.
Perhaps you should think a little more about where Officer Marshall was.
Officer Meekins should have seen him in the evidence room. That means the only place he could have been would be...
Yeah, they actually... Yeah, I think earlier in the video they had the explicitly pointed to the K and said that's where Officer Meekins was.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I should have pointed that out.
No, we're good. Okay, so we good with this?
Yes.
Take that! Officer Marshall was standing right here.
There? But that's where the detective, or the victim, Detective Goodman, was.
Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman.
Objection! But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
Objection! May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir! Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me! Something about the... I just imagine, like, Phoenix, like, doing an impression in the courtroom.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had had his ID card, why didn't he just show it?
Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it.
The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card.
Oh, I get it.
If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins wouldn't have realized the man was... Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall?
You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence.
Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it.
You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim.
I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Yeah, we said that already.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim?
Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that.
Can't we just treat the witness as hostile now? I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat.
Ugh. Oh, this can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do?
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Oh, voice, you're here.
That's true. Oh, Phoenix, try thinking outside of the box.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it had been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker.
According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered is a hard phrase. Perhaps the video is the key to all of our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot.
Very well. Let's take another look at the security tape.
No.
After
Yet
committing
again,
the
I am
crime,
asking you to look at the security tape.
In case of implosion, look directly at the implosion.
the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. Alright. That's, boop.
Yeah, why did the witness have to open the locker?
Beep, 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 beep,
Hate.
beep,
Hate,
beep.
and the worst. But if Jake Marshall didn't know about that, why did he do that?
Because it was bloody, wasn't it? It became bloodied, didn't it?
No, I'm talking about why did he know to look in the evidence room if he didn't know that he couldn't get into that locker?
Okay, I
to
saw
put
it.
no to
I
put
just
the
saw it.
glove
I
no to
just
put
saw
the
it.
glove there. Oh, what?
The bloody, look at his shoulder. See it?
Oh yeah, and you can't just leave a police, and you can't leave a police. You're saying that cloth is that jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then let's point
Wait,
it out then.
but the cloth isn't his jacket. We know that.
Do we know what the cloth is?
Well, yeah, because the cloth is just visually not the same size as the jacket.
Well, yeah, but,
no, here's the thing.
It's just a piece of it.
It's just a piece of
Oh.
it. You're thinking he hastily stuffed that into the locker.
Yeah.
Because you can't leave, because this is a department. You can't leave wearing that coat or carrying that coat. It would be
Right.
seen. You'd have to dispose of it. And the evidence locker is a quick place to do that.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, we ready with this?
Yeah. Take that! For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end. Yet.
Yes?
However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood.
Bloody white coat!
You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker.
Not bad, partner.
Now then, Officer Marshall,
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as positioned then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we?
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it.
All right. It seems the time has come. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
So the supposed victim was really you.
But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor.
It was way too much blood for such a small donation.
Okay. All right. So we'll we know this is about the Joe Dart killings.
But I think we'll need to press to get him to say that.
Hold it! When you say it, you mean...
Do you even have to ask, partner?
the SL9 incident.
2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with a transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room?
When a case is closed, only the case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself, one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine.
But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it?
That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence.
Hold it! Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman?
If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera?
And the
Whoa. Pardon me. My goodness.
and the detective's ID card?
I stole that the morning of the incident.
So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report.
I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot.
The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall.
So, essentially, you managed to succeed, despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean that the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself.
But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall.
Alright, we'll leave it.
Hold it! You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off?
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year.
When did Edgeworth get so much influence?
Anyway, he threw himself at me. I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything.
By the way, what happened to your knife?
Oh, you mean this one?
Oh my god. I don't know what to say.
So you knocked Officer Meekins out, and...
Wouldn't that knife immediately get confiscated as evidence when they said that?
You would think so?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do this.
Hold it! So you did your research beforehand.
Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there.
What was Officer Meekins doing at that time?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is, on that day...
Hold it! But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So, you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence?
It's still missing, Your Honor.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
I don't know about that. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
Okay. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why?
Why? But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence.
I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it?
I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at all the... Oh, God. I'd better take another look at the files.
Okay. So this is where we need to present it.
Wait, where did we find this?
Doesn't say.
Oh, we never looked at this, though, I don't think.
Yeah.
Edward Jones, Jeb Bates.
Neil Marshall.
Neil Marshall, yeah.
Neil Marshall.
It's probably
His name.
like his brother.
Oh yeah, that would do it. Witnesses Lana and Emma. Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth.
Shit.
Executive inventors Damon, Gant, and Lana Skye.
Bruce Goodman, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr.
Everyone except for Phoenix Wright.
Yeah.
He's just some guy.
Yeah.
His brother. I think
So
it's got to be it.
Yeah, let's just present this.
Objection! Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you've been snipping too much cactus juice, partner.
I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall, are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall. Yeah. I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
What? A prosecutor?
He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
But what's his relation to you?
He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then deputy chief of police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me.
Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day.
Ugh.
The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance? It's gotta be more than just that.
So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's parking lot was the real one.
Which, in turn, means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye.
Objection! But wait! A verdict wasn't reached yet A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Objection! Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But
There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved. No doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Starr is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. I rest my case.
It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
there's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty.
Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant...
Hold it! Your Honor, wait.
Emma!
The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right?
What do you mean, right?
Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor? Oh, in a sense.
Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please, hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
I was kind of in shock.
Did y'all hear that?
Hear
Yes.
The cat.
what? Oh, no, I didn't
Oh,
hear.
no, I did not hear the cat.
You didn't hear the cat? Okay.
Nope.
Well, the recording might pick him up. Hold on. I gotta go let him out.
Okay, no worries. Hey, Skate, how we doing?
Who's Skate? Is that one of our viewers?
Skate's one of our viewers. Yeah, he's a buddy of mine.
Oh, sweet.
Ah, poor little Emma. This is a good time for her to show up, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dart killings?
The names of both Skye sisters were in that file.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint.
You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No. But I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again.
So, did you find something?
No.
Huh?
Sorry. I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all?
Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student.
And I'm just an attorney.
But, Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me? Oh boy.
Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day.
Yes, Your Honor. If I ever needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? I object. Objection! This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright.
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them?
Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there?
Yes. Something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright.
With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use.
The question is, which item can prove something is missing on the floor plans?
It's the blue badger, right?
Oh my god, it's the blue badger.
Yeah.
It was right in front of that
Yeah.
locker.
All right, let's do it.
Take that!
What about that piece of plywood?
The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here.
So?
So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well?
Well, what?
Ah,
That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker.
what?
So that means... just what exactly does that mean?
It means it can't be done.
What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker.
Don't look at me. I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically.
Emma,
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
So, that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in.
Just one moment! I will not allow such I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom!
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice.
But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time, someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman, when he was really murdered.
Objection!
Ooh.
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
Objection! The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
Objection! So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred.
When did the first incident occur?
To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room?
That's right. That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this.
Very well. Then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented.
Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that.
Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place?
It's this, right?
Open it?
Probably, yeah, I think so.
It's gotta
'cause
be.
It's on that date, and there's only one entry that happened prior, so
Yeah.
One entry, we still don't know who that is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know who it is now. Shall we
Yeah,
try
me
this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Take that!
Dun, dun, dun.
If the crime took place inside the evidence room, the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
An ID card! Oh! The ID card record!
Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at...
Let's see here. 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Ah! Miles Edgeworth! Just what have you done?
I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
It's clear from the luminol that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible.
That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room.
Yep. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 777777.
Talk about a lucky number.
But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with the ID card number 77777.
You're missing 1 7.
7.
Mr.
7 sevens.
Yes.
7, whatever, the 7th power, yeah.
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777777777.
Sorry. Sorry, I was looking at what 7 to the 7th power was. That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of the ID card. At least, at present.
What?
Explain yourself, son. The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
That's such bullshit.
Objection! But that's ridiculous. Just how...
Agreed.
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright.
Wow.
There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted,
An official charge?
You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. Objection! I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you were to keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive.
Lana?
Objection! Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 7777777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
the SL9 incident,
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence?
Voice, can you go ahead and take Lana?
Sure.
Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor?
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we...
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Look, Lana. I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
defendant, just what are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But, Lana, even if it involved forging evidence,
See, that's what I'm talking about. No.
Order!
Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day.
dum dum dum.
Oh my god. The bombshell.
Yep.
Oh, man. And I think we have to call it here because we definitely need,
Damon.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, we need
yeah.
Writer and Nyard for that one, so we'll call it there. That was fun though.
It was great. It's a
Where
We
my
had,
voice.
we had
were
some
my-
great drama between Edgeworth and between Marshall, both voiced by our very own Dusk.
yeah.
Thank you. Did I make them distinct enough? I was trying
Oh,
to do that.
absolutely.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though they're kind of in similar registers, I think it's
Yeah.
you still made it work.
That's
Like,
cool.
When I was doing this, when I was just doing the Ace Attorney or the Great Ace Attorney by myself, I found it really difficult to distinguish what like voices that were in the same register. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully, Jake Marshall has a ridiculous fake accent that he puts on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Which
Yeah,
helps a
something
lot.
like that.
It would be much harder if he did not do that.
For sure. Well, hey, thank you for everybody that tuned in today to listen to us.
Yes, thanks for watching.
The Oops All Americans cast of Lights, Camera, Objection. If you saw this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and comment. If you saw us on Twitch, please follow. In any case, we have been Lights, Camera, Objection, and we will see you next time.
See you next
Bye-bye.
time.
Bye. Also, bye.
See you later.
And
Yes,
goodbye.
All right, I'm going
Stop my recording.